Hi Internet, it's me, Pan42 Tarot. Welcome to this week's reading. This week's reading, we're going to be asking the elements for messages. This week I'm doing like a regular story spread where I just pull cards till it feels right. And we're using this deck to pull you in today. This is a thing from D&D. It's very fun and super random, so that's why I picked it, because the elements are also super random. I mean, they have an order, but like, we can't predict them because they're wild. Anyway, that's what we're using this week. This is called a deck of many things. So I'm going to use this deck to draw us in, and then I'm also going to use my little runes. So they are witch runes. They are not like the typical runes. So actually this card I think wanted to come out. And then we're going to do 4 groups because we're going to stick to the 4 elements. One more. This one. Okay. Because we're going to stick to the 4 elements. That I know that in certain practices there's more than 4. I know in my witch spells I use 5 because I include the element of spirit. But we're going to stick with air, water, earth, and fire. So these are the 4 cards. And let me just pull 4 runes. 1, 2, 3, and one more, please. This one, 4. Okay, now I'm gonna flip them all over and let you see, so that you can pick. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So, group number 1, you're gonna be my air pile. And you have this card, Comet. Comet. You also have the rune of the eye. Let's see if you can focus on that. The eye. My air pile. You guys are my air pile. You have the comet and the eye. Ooh. So that's pile number 1. Pile number 2, you're going to be my water pile. And let's see what card you guys got. You guys got, instructions, because I totally forgot to take the instructions out. My bad. Let's see. Let's pull you another one. That one. I am going to talk about the fact that I pulled the instructions, though, in your pile, because seems funny to me that I would pull that. Anyway, so, pile number 2, you're my water pile, and you guys have Ruin. Ooh, interesting. Now, these cards are very dramatic because they are from D&D, and they basically are either like, you get the whole world and riches, or you end the whole game. And you also got this rune. Hold please while I look it up. Group number 2, you're my water pile. You have Ruin. Ruin. And your rune is this Trinity shape here, which I hope you can see, and it represents romance in this bunch of runes. Hope you can see it good enough. I'm outside today, so it's hard to see my screen. So that's group number 2. Group number 3, you're gonna be my earth pile, and you have the card of the void. These are some really cool cards. The card of the void. And And the rune you got is this symbol. It's 3 wavy lines. I believe this represents water, actually. It represents flight. Oh, it's supposed to be birds. That makes sense. This is flight. You guys are my earth pile. My earth pile. Yay. Okay. And last but not least, my fire pile. You guys are my 4th pile today. So fire, you got the card of the Jester. Ooh, the Jester. And your rune is this compass-like symbol. And let's see, crossroads. Represents crossroads. So that's pile number 4. You guys will be the fire pile. Yay. So there's the 4 piles. Yeah, so this is air, water, earth, fire. I'm doing it that way because that's how I set up all of my tchotchkes today. So that'll help me remember which pile I'm on. I'm gonna leave it just for a second for you to look at. Air, water, earth, fire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right. I will see you all at your readings. Bye, you guys. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading this week. This week we are exploring messages from the elements. And you guys are my pile number 1, which means you are my air pile. Yay! So the card that pulled you in this week is the Comet. Oh. The Comet. And you also got the rune of the Eye, which is all about watchfulness and spell binding and awareness. So that's the energy that pulled you in today, as well as the air energy. I've already pulled the cards that I'm going to be using for this reading because they're kind of difficult to shuffle. Plus, you guys got a lot of cards, so I figured it'd be easier for me to just show you the cards, and then we all talk about them instead of spending time on camera actually shuffling. So, I am using today the animated tarot deck as well as the Cosmovisions Oracle. So, I'm going to start with the Cosmovisions because they're on top. So, I am going to just show you all the cards, spread them all out, and then talk about them. Because we're just doing a story reading today, so we're just getting straight up messages. So, your first card today is the 9 of Birds, which is the 9 of Swords. You also have the Ace of Lotuses. You also have the 2 of Birds. How appropriate to get so many birds already. You guys are the air pile. 2 of Birds. You also have the 5 of Trees, which is the 5 of Pentacles. And then for your animated tarot, these ones are fun, so these ones we'll look at a little bit longer because they actually animate. You have the 3 of Swords. Let's see if I'm focused. Three of Swords. The 3 of Wands. Ooh, 2 3s in a row. There's a plane going over my head at the moment. Hope you can't hear that. Then I have the Hanged Man. Ooh. Make sure this is in focus. Have the Hanged Man. Then we have the Nine of Swords again. Guys, are you stressed out? The Nine of Swords. Then we also have the Knight of Swords. Run, horse, run. And your last card is the Ten of Cups. Aww. That's so sweet. Alright, I'm going to lay these all out. How we saw them. This way. I'll fit on my table, please. You guys got so many cards. Wow, okay, so this really is a story, you guys. Also, there's threes, there's 2 3s, 2 9s, an ace, a 2, and a 5. This is a 12 and a 10. In case the numbers are important to you. So, my air pile, welcome. Let's digest this. So, what I'm seeing here is a story about somebody who is super stressed out, one, and somebody who's going through some kind of evolution. An evolution and a struggle. It's been a struggle. Yeah. So the comic card, it talks about, in D&D, it gives you the opportunity to gain an entire level if you kill the next monster by yourself. So this talks about fighting something by yourself. Fighting some kind of battle, either with yourself or you feel like you have to walk this path alone to get to the next level. That's very literal, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here in these cards. So let me explain. The Nine of Birds, which is the Nine of Swords, has shown up twice, right? And that indicates an incredible amount of stress over whatever this is. It seems like there's been some heartbreak with the Five of Trees and the Three of Swords showing up. There's this like, there's some feeling of loss, of death, of like a storm, like, because this one, there's rain in it. There's some kind of storm that you're weathering through, and it's been tough. It's stressing you out. It's making you feel like you're on the edge of a precipice. It's really stressful. I totally understand this feeling. Oh no. All my ashes went everywhere. The wind is blowing in your pile a little bit, so we know that the air element is speaking. And you have a lot of swords too, so it makes sense that you guys are the air pile. But what I'm also seeing is that there's been some kind of decision that comes along with this heartbreak, with this sense of loss. Is you've lost someone or something, and their loss, or the loss of a job or something like this, a change. There's been a change that has left you feeling bereft in some way, and that change has made it so that you have to make a decision. You have to chart a map forward. The Three of Wands talks about looking out at what the earth around you looks like and charting a map forward, making plans, taking you're taking your fate into your own hands, kind of a thing. And the Two of Birds is the Two of Swords, which talks about a decision that feels really, really hard to make. And normally the person in the card is blindfolded and confused in some kind of way. So, but in this card, the man is pulling two pieces of what looks like ice along behind him by himself. And it feels like another message of there's been something that you've been pulling along by yourself, and it's really, it's a struggle. And there's a decision that has to be made about whether you're going to ask this person who's just chilling in the background for their help or not. And if you're going to be able to chart a course forward with somebody else or not. But the interesting part of this reading is then these two things pop up in the midst of all of this stress and decision making. The Ace of Lotuses, which is the Ace of Cups, and the Hanged Man shows up. So this is a good sign that, like, something new is going to appear to change your perspective. The Hanged Man talks all about a changed perspective, about learning something new that you didn't know before. It also talks about, it just talks about how sometimes we get stuck in viewing something from one perspective, and how we have to empower ourselves to get unstuck, to see from a different angle, to change our minds. And I think this, in particular, this is what is going to help all of this stress that is surrounding you. Like, a change in perspective about this decision is really going to help you make the decision, one, and two, stop fighting with yourself. I don't know if you can see in this card, but down here, there's these, on the bed, there's a little figure of somebody stabbing somebody else and fighting, but it's just on the bed. It's not like a real thing. So I feel like this stress that you're putting yourself under, it's a stress mostly in your mind. Like, you feel like you're on the precipice of failure or something, but you're not. And you've been fighting with yourself about this decision, when a new perspective, a new point of view, somebody new, asking somebody for help could really help, could completely take away this stress. And even maybe just saying what the thing is out loud could take away so much stress. And we also have the Eye here. There's something you're not seeing. There's something you're not aware of. And it feels like there needs to be somebody else brought into this picture so that you can see more clearly. Because right now you're not seeing clearly. You're blinded by your own struggle, your own heartache, and you're thinking from a place of sadness and fear that you're gonna lose something. So bringing somebody else in to speak your fear, to understand what is happening, can really help you shift your perspective a little bit. And then we have the Knight of Swords coming in. And this really does feel like a person that, like, as soon as you tell somebody about this heartache and decision and hard choice that you've been struggling with, as soon as you bring somebody else in, they come in like a knight on a white steed. Like, the Knight of Swords is fast and effective. They're like the most well-trained of horse riders. Like, it's flawless, it's effortless, it's fast. They're so fast. A lot of the time, the horse has wings in like the more not fancy, the more imaginative decks, the horse has wings because air element, hello, Pegasus. So, this person, letting somebody in is really going to push you forward in a way that you have been stuck in before, and really show you, like, cut through some bullshit and show you what the real choice is, because you've been doing it all by yourself and feeling like you can only level up if you do it by yourself. But that's just not true. That's a falsehood. That's a fight that you're having with yourself in your mind, that it's just not true. Like, the same as with these trees here in this card, like, they're talking about a sense of loss and death and sadness. But like, I don't think you can see this, but there's snow on the ground here that's slowly fading away, and the death of winter is only an illusion, right? Everything feels dead, but underneath all of that snow, it is alive, just waiting for the warmth of the summer and the spring to blossom back to life. So this loss, this sadness, this heartbreak, it is mostly an illusion. Like, it is temporary. And once you get past this point, you will be feeling like, oh, that heartbreak hurt, but like, look at what I've made from it. And I don't have to do this on my own. Like, I may feel alone in this moment, but I am not alone. And sometimes that's really hard for us to remember. It's definitely hard for me to remember. I like very much love to have people around me, and when I don't, I feel very alone. So I totally understand this feeling of being totally overwhelmed because you feel like you have nobody to ask, but there are people around for you to ask. And you just have to be brave enough to ask. But the result is the Ten of Cups, you guys. Like, not only will asking somebody to help you move you forward, it will bring you closer to your dreams. It will enable you to move past this hurt and sorrow and feel of loss and make a choice that makes your life better. And that's really lovely, and I'm so happy for you guys. Like, that's like a beautiful ending to this reading, that this worry is for nothing. Like, maybe the worry is might be helpful in certain ways, that it like points out parts of your path that could be dangerous, but it's not useful if you're doing it all by yourself, because you're just thinking yourself in circles. You're fighting yourself. You've become trapped in your own perspective, and you need more perspective to see that there's a rainbow at the end of the tunnel. Okay, you guys? Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle deck, because that feels like the most air element oracle that I have. So, element of air, could you please send us one parting message for group number 1 about this tough heartbreak and decision that they are stuck in, that they could use some new perspective on? Ooh, 1. We will get that in a second. See which card it is. 2. Okay. You have 2. And I will show them to you right now. I have to like stand up to focus the camera today because I am outside. So we have card 55. Thinking of you. Super cute. And we also have card 50, the Tattoo Fairy. Ooh, cute. So these could be like not just like the message that I'm going to give you about these cards, but these cards could also like imply somebody you already know. because they're thinking of you and maybe they have tattoos. Like, don't take it if it resonates, but this could be describing a person that you already know, that you want to talk to about something that you haven't yet. So take that as it resonates. So I'm going to read you 50 first because it's first in the book. So card 50, Tattoo Fairy, keyword labeling. This card speaks of allowing others and yourself free expression. One person's one person's ugh may be another person's ah. Be careful of labeling others or yourself. Too often we assume if a person does this or that, then they must be a certain way. We do not give them the benefit of the doubt or the chance to show who they really are. It is very unfair to place a label on someone just because they may have a tattoo or look different. Allow yourself to look beyond appearances to what truly is. When we label ourselves or others, we are limiting possibilities. We limit our ways of expressing by cramming ourselves into a mold. Be open to all that you are and can be, and allow others the same respect. Welcome the diversity of those around you. Creative expression is a personal thing. Each being has his own way of being. Beware of going along with the crowd or the latest fads. Find out who you really are and be that person. Who you are is good enough. This card also speaks of symbols. Look for symbols in your life and see how they manifest. What are they trying to tell you? Is there a symbol that has great meaning to you? So much so that you wish to wear it upon your body as a tattoo or a piece of jewelry? If so, it carries a message for you to decipher. It might be considered a badge of honor. Cut the labels out of your clothes today. All right, so that was 50. Now I'm going to read you 55. 55, thinking of you, synchronicity. Have you ever been thinking of someone just as the phone rings, only to find that they are the one calling you? Life presents so many examples of synchronicity to us. There is no such thing as coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and synchronicity happens more often when we are strongly grounded within ourselves. When well grounded, we have a strong connection to everything in our universe. These connections may help put us in the right place at the right time. Our intuition is heightened by these things. Our intuition is heightened, and things fall into place much easier. We flow with the universal life force instead of fighting it. Therefore, everything comes to us naturally and more easily. Life is much more enjoyable and efficient too. Work on bringing more synchronicity into your life. If life feels frantic, stop, breathe, center yourself. Find a place of peace within. Ask for help from the elementals. They know about peace and balance. This allows you to make better choices for your words and actions. The more you practice this balance, the more synchronicity has a chance to work in your life to put you exactly where you need to be at the divine perfect time. Sense the rhythm of the earth and synchronize your breathing to it. The earth's pulse is your pulse. The earth's breath is your breath. All is one. You move smoothly on your life's journey. Let someone know you're thinking about them today. Aw, that's so sweet. Well, this is all I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so much, oh my goodness, the bird just decided to talk very loud. Thank you so much, group number 1, for being here today. I hope you have a blessed everything. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you liked my outside reading. We're going to see how the audio comes out. Thank you for being here, group number 1. Bye. This was Pam. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading today. Today we're going to be consulting with the elements, and your pile is the water pile. And you were drawn in by this card here, which is the Ruin card. Now, don't get too scared, okay? Also, we have this rune here, which is Romance. It represents romance. So that's the card that brought you in today. You also accidentally pulled the instructions card, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But today, we are asking the element of water for any messages that it has for you. So, water is a very divine feminine kind of energy. So we're gonna see where this goes. So I've already pulled out all of the cards for you guys, and this is gonna be just like a story kind of um spread where I just like put out all the cards and look at them and tell you what I think they mean. So we're just going to show you the cards of this. Today I'm using the Cosmovision's Oracle deck, as well as the animated tarot. So we have a lot of cards. So we're going to look at all of them and then I'm going to talk about them, okay? So here we go. So the first card you have is a Five of Lotuses. This is the Five of Cups. We also have the Eight of Lotuses, which is the Eight of Cups. We have the Peacock. This is a sister card to the Empress in this deck. We also have, the Infinite Paths. I think, I want to say this is the World card, but I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look it up. The Infinite Paths. We also have the Entertainer. I believe this is one of the Earth court cards. We also have the Three of Birds, which is the Three of Swords. So that's all your Cosmovisions. Now we have the animated tarot. So these ones I'm gonna wow. Sorry, my stage is like on fire. Chill out there, bud. Okay. So now we have your animated tarots. And these I'm going to look at for like a second longer because they animate. So we have the Page of Coins. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about all of them at the end. We have the Page of Chalices. Wow, 2 pages. This is cool. I like this energy. We also have the Nine of Swords. This card came up in our last reading, the Air Pile, if you want to check that out. We also have the Knight of Swords. Holy moly. I did shuffle these cards, you guys. This also popped up in our last reading. We also have the King of Wands. And lastly, we have the Knight of Coins. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to spread all these out. Here we go. So, the element of water is an element of flowing one into the other. It's also about, it represents emotions when we're talking about the tarot. So it has to do a lot about love, which makes sense as to why you pulled the romance rune. So The ruin card in this D&D deck is uh talks about financial ruin kind of. So in D&D, when you like complete a mission or you go kill a dragon or whatever, you get like riches and treasure, and sometimes you get castles and things like that. So this card, if you ended up pulling this card out of the deck of many things in a game, you'd end up losing all of your riches and property, and you'd be going back to basically being a level 1 noob with no fun stuff. But you also pulled the instructions card, which I find very interesting, because I don't think this is a warning about ruin. I think this is talking about, especially in conjunct with all these cards. I think this is talking about an illusion of loss. Um, More of like, it's not an illusion of loss. It's more of a perspective that you have, that you are lacking in some way, but you have all the instructions. So you have all of the means to get where you want to go. You just haven't um, enacted any of these means. You have a full cup, but you have not started to drink from the cup, if that makes sense. So let me explain where I'm coming from with all of that, okay? So the Five of Lotuses is the Five of Cups. This talks about a loss or a perceived loss. It can talk about how we have lost something, but there are still things that we have access to that could bring us good things, but we're ignoring those things. Um, so in this card, the imagery is that there is a boat that has sunk, or and there is a boat that is still floating. So the way I'm taking this card is that you may have lost the lifeboat off the boat, but the boat is still upright. So your escape plan for whatever is happening in your life is gone, but your life is still on track. Um, you the universe might be taking away some things from you, but it's to point you in a right direction as opposed to grieve you. We also have the Eight of Cups, which talks about moving on, moving forward, away from other things. It can also talk about. Uh, I just listened to a podcast about the Eight of Cups a little bit, and it can talk about how sometimes you just need to take a step away from your cups to get a new perspective on things, to really appreciate what you actually have. Because at the moment you're looking at the cups and thinking they're just waterlogged lilies when there's a whale. Like you're like, a bunch of these cups are just a waterlogged and sad, but like you're missing like the whale that's swimming over your head that's making glorious music. Like there's a need to step away from the perspective of loss to see the good things before you, um, which is very interesting. This is a very similar message to the message that air gave us, but water is talking a lot more about you as a person and how you personally have all of these amazing qualities. You also have infinite paths ahead of you. Like, you may feel like one door has closed, like one path to you has ended, that the universe has shut off, has taken away something
that you wanted to go pursue, but they're also saying there's infinite light, there's are infinite paths. This was not the only path, this was not the only way. There are other ways to get to where you wanted to go. This one, the universe may have just shut off for you because maybe it was giving you too much worry, or maybe it was turning you into somebody that wasn't going to move forward. Maybe it was taking away pieces of you that the universe felt like you need still. Um, I think one of these pieces, because there's so many people in this reading. There's the entertainer, 2 pages, a knight, 2 knights, and a king. There's so many people here. I feel like the water element is trying to tell you that there's so many parts of you that are really important that um, you may have lost sight of when focusing so hard on a specific outcome or a specific path. When you focus too hard, when you become too rigid and you don't flow like water in your life, then it becomes you become eroded by the flow of everything else around you. I hope that makes sense. So one of the pieces of yourself that I think two of the pieces I think that they really wanted to call attention to, that they feel like these are huge assets to you that you may have been ignoring, are one, your childlike personality, like your child element, the inner child that you have. This inner child not only learns super well, like they're super curious about the world. That's what the page of coins represents. But they're also like joyous and unafraid and love surprises. And like you may have seen this surprise of something being taken away and been like, no. But your inner child was like, ooh, cool, then maybe something better's coming along. So that childlike element of you that's so beautiful, that's so vibrant, that loves surprises, that loves learning, that loves moving forward. This element of you is really being called out by the element of water and saying these elements of you remember how to flow, remember how to move, remember how to change. And it's these elements of you that really are going to bring you forward towards your infinite paths, towards the way that you were always meant to be on. But like, it can change all the time because the world changes all the time. And that's a wonderful surprise for you to find. Like, that you can still achieve your dreams even without something that you thought was necessary to yourself. Um, I think they're also calling out this element of you, which is the knights. So the knights are steadfast companions, but they're also fighters, and they're so you also got like both ends of the knight spectrum. You got the fastest knight and the slowest knight. So I feel like there's a need for you to embrace two separate sides of yourself, both the side that is like, let's go, let's do things, and also the other side that's like, but we need to plan. Like, there needs to be a balance between these two nights. And, yeah. And that balance might be the King of Wands himself. Like, the King of Wands talks about following your passions and being in charge of your passions, not being led around the mouth like the horses in the Knight of Swords. Like, being in charge, being the head of these passions, being able to mold and shape these things, and also coming out on top because you have control, because you're not being manipulated into doing anything. Which I think is a very interesting in contrast to the Elementaire Entertainer. This card talks a lot about being a shapeshifter, being anything to all people, to be a beautiful performance of what is actually happening to have a mask. And I think in contrast to that, the King of Wands is all out there. Like, he really knows his passion, he knows what he's supposed to be doing, but he also is not a people pleaser. He is charming and intelligent, but he does not bend to the wills of others. He will he will convince you otherwise. So I feel like in conjunct, like, there is there's a call for you to be yourself. Um, that elements of you got lost in your bid to be all things to all people, and your desire to um, be a perfect representation of yourself instead of just being yourself. And it really threw you off here for a minute. And there's a need to drop the act, drop the facade, get rid of all of the the things you've been holding on to so tight that aren't really who you are. Um, and return to loving yourself and seeing yourself as the element water sees you, as a beautiful creature that, like, you're best as you. You're best as you and not pretending to be anything else. Wow, that was a lot. I said a lot. There was a lot here. I hope that all made sense, because I just, like, channeled for like a bit there, and I probably couldn't tell you what I said again. So thank you, element of water, for all of those messages. Um, yeah, there is a need to go with the flow and not be so rigid. Don't hold on so tight. Yeah. So, the last thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to pull a card from my Kenyan Oracle deck. This is the closest one I have to a water element oracle, so that's why I picked this one. So we will see which of the faces of Kunyin you will get. Okay? And that will be your reading. So, here we go. Water, element of water, would you please give us one parting message for pile number 2 about this need to return to the self, to give up their worries of what other people think, and be truly vibrant in themselves? One message for group number 2, please. Could I have a message for group number 2, please? Oh, oh, oh. She's not really a popper, this deck, because she has like a matte finish. So, alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what I typically do when that happens, and we're going to pull one from the bottom and one from the top. So, here we go. You have 2 cards from Kunyin. We have, let me read the things. This card here, which is the Yin Empress. The Yin Empress. And we have this card here, which is Weave the Future Golden. Weave the Future Golden. So, I'm going to have to read them this way, because they have their writing on the back of their cards, but then I'll flip them over once I'm done. Alright, here, focus back on the pile. Thank you. So, let's start with the Yin Empress. The Yin Empress brings peace, prosperity, and success to her beloved devotees. Your soul's purpose includes healing and empowerment of the divine feminine. The Yin Empress herself You gain power, assistance, and untold blessings in following your soul's purpose. You are lifted and supported in your sacred work. Be at peace. You shall thrive. Yeah. So there's that message of calm down, be at peace. The things are happening as they're supposed to. Don't dwell on the loss. Become yourself. So, and then we have weave the future golden. Something good is coming your way. Kunyin now assists you to weave your future into the present moment, to call in and draw to you the opportunities, teachings, circumstances, and synchronicities that are waiting for you, and which enable your soul to live its divine destiny with greater abundance, bliss, and creative fulfillment. Aw, that's so sweet. I also like how both of these goddesses are facing away from each other out. I think they're watching you if you are here in the center. They're watching on all sides of you, ensuring that your path forward is good for you and won't bring you to ruin. So that's all I'm seeing for you, group number 2. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a blessed everything. Thank you to Water for your beautiful message. Um, yeah, I hope you guys have. Oh, please like, comment, subscribe, all those things. And I hope you have a blessed everything. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, you guys. This was Pan. Bye.
Hi, group number 3. Welcome to this week's reading. You guys are my earth pile. And this week we are asking the elements for messages. So, the card that pulled you in today is the Void card. Ooh. Earth people have the Void. And the rune you guys picked is this little guy. And he represents flight. And also communication and what else? Freedom. Yeah, like birds. So, those are the 2 things that pulled you in today. I've already pulled your cards. Ooh, sorry, an airplane's going over. Okay, I think he's far enough away now. So, I have already pulled the cards that I'm going to be using for your reading, you guys, because there's a lot of cards. I'm using the Cosmovision's Oracle deck as well as the Animated Tarot. So this is just going to be a story style reading where I just pull a bunch of cards and I look at them all in line and just kind of tell you what I'm seeing, okay? So, we're going to go through the Oracle cards first, the Cosmovision Oracle first. So, the cards you have are the 8 of Embers, which is the 8 of Wands. You also have the 10 of Lotuses, which is the 10 of Cups. You also have the Geomancer. I believe she's the Queen of Earth. We also have the Veil. Wow, the Void and the Veil. Interesting. And then we have a bunch of the animated tarots. I'm going to sit on these a little bit longer because they actually animate. So we have the Queen of Cups. Ooh. The Queen of Cups. We also have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Chalices. We also have the Temperance card. Ooh. This is a very pretty Temperance card. We also have the Sun card. Wow. We have the Sun card. We also have the World card. Wow, you guys, a lot of major arcanas in this one. The World card. We have the 8 of Coins. We have the Hermit, another major arcana. And lastly, we have the Star card. Wow. Well, I'm not going to cover up her boobs because you can't see her nipples. So apparently that's fine. So these are your cards. Hold on, I'm going to spread them all out for you real quick. Okay. Here we go, group number 3. Are you ready? You guys have a lot of cards. I hope they are all in frame. All right. Are you ready, group number 3? Here we go. So, there are a lot of major arcanas in this this reading here. So, let's see. We have 8, 10. What other numbers do we have here? We have, this is 19, I believe. This is 21. We have 18 and 14 and 9 and 2 8s. Yes, that's all my numbers. So, oh no, and this one's also, this is also an 18. Yeah, so these are both star cards. Wow, so you got the star twice. Interesting. So, what am I seeing here, you guys? I'm seeing like a lot of positive messages here. I'm also seeing a lot of movement, a lot of ending of cycles, but a lot of completion of cycles. So I feel like this might be a message of hope for you, because maybe you feel stuck in a void. I'm also going to quickly look up what the void card means in my D&D deck. Hold, please. Oh. Okay. So the void card is a very interesting card, because in D&D, what it does, if you end up pulling this card, what happens is your soul is removed from your body and put somewhere else. And while that is happening, your body, though your body is alive, you can't do anything. And your soul is captured in the void and is being guarded by something very powerful. There's actually a really great mini D&D, well, not mini. There's an episode of Critical Role, not the cartoon, but the actual show. It's a special where Grog, who is a giant, he's a barbarian man, he ends up pulling the void card, and his soul is sent to another realm, and they have to spend the whole episode trying to get Grog back from Void. And they travel there, and it's a whole fun adventure. I think they did this bonus adventure as it was a one-shot that they did for, I think they did it for a convention, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it's a super fun adventure, but Grog himself is not really there the whole time, because even though they're carrying his body with them, his soul is not with them. So I feel like you've been on a soul journey of some kind. Like, you have been on this crazy evolution that has really shown you some deep personal things and also led you down a different path than what you had expected. And I feel like this is just a message of encouragement that this whole path, though you might feel like it's been a void, it's been a slog, it's been a never-ending path of like, I'm exhausted. You're really close. This rune represents flight or communication, freedom, travel. It's a journey. You've been on a crazy journey, and it's led you through so many major arcana cards. You've learned a lot about yourself, and it's not quite over, but with a couple of these cards here, I'm feeling like it's near completion. Your journey is near completion. The Eight of Embers talks about fast-paced moving events coming for you, and the World talks about the completion of a cycle. So, and so do the Tens, and so does, anyway. So, what I'm seeing is that you need this message of, we have these two queens here, Queen of Earth and the Queen of Cups. I feel like you just need a message of encouragement. Like, you've been working so hard. That's what this card represents. You've been working so hard and pushing forward, and you've been so brave and steadfast and really a light to the people around you. Like, you're both the Temperance, you both have the Sun and the Star twice. Like, you have the Star card twice. You are this beautiful shining light to the people around you. You are piercing through the veil. You are seeing things you've never seen before. You have come through this hermit phase of feeling like your soul's on a journey by itself, and you are close to the end. Whatever this journey is, you are close to the end. The Spirit of Earth is saying, do not give up. You are so close to the end. You've put in so much hard work. The sun is about to rise. The happy ending is coming. Like, these two cards together just mean like that things are happening fast for your happy ending to come. It's happening so fast. And it might feel like you're sitting still at this moment. You may feel like you're sitting still, but the opportunities are still coming for you. They're still happening. You're going to get this beautiful happy ending where you are the star, you are the holder of all the cards, you reach the pinnacle of yourself. And I think this is also a message of, even with all this hard work and effort, you have remained incredibly humble, like a child, like a queen. Like, you have tempered your great success with your great sadness, and you have remained the humble star. You are a bright shining star, but these two art pieces of the star, they are probably the most demure that I have in my decks. She's beautiful and she's stunning, but she She is keeping one foot on solid ground and one foot in water. They have this in this. There's part of them is outside of the world and part of them is in the world. You are walking a tight line. You are finding balance, but you're doing a great job. And like, the spirit of earth is saying, keep working at it. Keep working at it. The end is so close. You're doing so well. Like, this has been a crazy journey that you've been on, and it's been full of twists and turns, and you've felt like the world might end at certain points, but you're still here and you're still waiting, and it's coming. The happy ending is coming. Just keep on your path, keep connecting with your spirituality, keep connecting with your guides and your magic, what you know to be magic. And the sun's gonna come up. There's a lot of sunrises in all these cards. The sun's coming up soon, and you just gotta hold on. What a message from Earth, right? Like, just hold on. That's such an Earth message of hold on, stay grounded, you got this. Man, you guys have had the most cards so far, but the most simple message, really. And also with all these major arcanas, I know I've said this before in a lot of my readings, but like, when there's so many major arcanas, it really speaks to me that this path you're on, it's orchestrated by things outside of you, that there are greater powers at work all around you, and you are, there's something greater than you guiding you. So yeah, don't give up. You got this, you guys. Sorry, the sun is coming into my shot, but that's how it is. So now the last thing I'm going to do for you guys is I have the Garden Dragons Oracle. This is my most earthy oracle, so I'm going to shuffle these cards and get one last parting message from Earth for you guys, and that will be your reading. Okay, Spirit of Earth, could you give us one final message about this great journey that my Earth pile has been on? We got two cards stuck together. That is beautiful. Thank you. So I'm going to read these to you out of the book because I don't have them memorized. But here they are. So the two cards that you guys got are the Orange Dragon. His word is rewards. And we have the Kiwi Dragon. And his word is fertile. He's super cute. His little bill. Alright, I'm going to read you these two. Focus back on the cards, please. Thank you. Alright, so the Orange Dragon. Let's read him first. Keyword rewards. His mystical meaning is, this is a golden day for you because the Orange Dragon always brings something marvelous with it. If you have been working towards a promotion or a salary increase, the omens are positive. Awards are coming your way. When you squeeze all the joy you can from each and every day, happiness is your daily reward. And the last card we have is the Kiwi Dragon, which says, Kiwi Dragon, fertile. Here is the dragon who promises growth and fertility. When you see the dark brown kiwi dragon, look for growth. A good night's sleep is essential at this time. Eating 2 kiwi fruits an hour before bed can help you fall asleep quicker. You need your energy for growth and change. If you are looking to increase your family, the kiwi dragon is said to help in matters of fertility. Interesting. So, yeah, the happy ending's right around the corner, you guys. Well, this is all I'm seeing for you guys. I hope you have a blessed everything. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed everything. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, you guys. Bye, pile number 3. This was Pan. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to today's reading. Today we're getting messages from the elements, and your element is fire. So you guys are the fire pile. Fire pile is very full of energy, very brash, very like all emotions. Well, not emotions. Emotions is water, but you guys are more passions. Yeah, passion. Interests, things that are heart heavy, like lead with your heart kind of things. So you guys were pulled in by this card, the Jester, as well as this rune, which represents crossroads. Ooh. So the Jester and the crossroads. Fun story. This card in D&D, like, represents, well, when you pull it, you either get to take experience points, or you get to roll the dice and pull 2 more cards from the deck of many things, which there are horrible things and wonderful things in that deck, so it's a bit of a risk. So crossroads and gambling is kind of those 2 cards. So today I'm using the Cosmovisions Oracle deck as well as the Animated Tarot. And I'm just going to show you all the cards I pulled, and then we're going to talk about them, okay? So this is a much more fluid kind of reading. So we have soulmates. I believe this is the Lover's card in this deck. Soulmates. You also have the 5 of Embers, which is the 5 of Wands. We also have the 10 of Lotuses. Oh my gosh, you guys. The 10 of Cups has shown up in, I think, every reading so far today. 10 of Cups. And the Geomancer. This is, I believe, the Queen of Earth. Or the Queen of Chalices, coins. So, now we're going to look at the Animated Tarot. These I'm going to pause on for a little bit longer since they have animations. So here we go. First card is the 4 of Chalices. 4 of Chalices showed up in Earth's pile as well, if you're interested. We also have the World card. Ooh. We also have the King of Coins. Then there is the Page of Wands. As well as the Queen of Wands. Ooh. Seeing an evolution. And the Knight of Wands. Wow. You guys really are the fire pile with all this fire energy. Chigo. And lastly, we have the 6 of Wands. Aw, what a sweet ending. All right, I'm going to spread these all out for you. Ugh. I might skip ahead to where they are all pretty. And we have the Four of Chalices, World card, King of Coins, Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, Six of Wands. So, excuse me. Make sure we can fit all of these. I can fit all of these if I move my T. There we go. Alright. Woo, a lot of cards. Alright, group number 3. You ready? Here we go. I mean, you guys are group number 4. I'm sorry. I said group number 3 because these 2 cards were pulled in the deck previous. In the pile previous. So, woo, lots of stuff going on here. So many wands. Ooh, okay. So, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing there is a new opportunity. You are at a crossroads. You have a choice. You have a choice before you. At a crossroads. It seems like a new thing is being offered to you. A new opportunity is being offered to you. You're not quite seeing it yet, or you're not quite accepting it yet. Like, it's still in the hands of your guides and they are presenting it to you. But it does seem to have to do with soulmates or soul family or romantic partners. It could, if you're not interested in romance, soulmates could also just indicate a deep, intimate connection with someone. Not so necessarily romance related. It could be a deep personal connection with a friend or a mentor or something like that. But I am seeing that the acceptance of this opportunity will bring the end of something else. Like the Jester card, if you pick the one thing, that's the end of the adventure. But if you pick the other thing, you could draw 2 more cards and keep going in your adventure. It's going to be a weird sort of like trading one thing for another thing. It's a chance to go down a different path, even though there's still this other path ahead of you. Like your guides and and the element of fire here is pointing out that there are like a couple different ways to get to where you want to go, but all of them do involve giving up something. There is a sacrifice to go down certain paths. I'm also seeing that perhaps you have been very steadfast in your wish to go a certain way. And I feel like your guides are trying to encourage you to not go that certain way with this 5 of Embers. The 5 of Embers talks about conflict and fighting, and I feel like they want you to not travel the path of least resistance. Like, don't roll over to what might be easiest. Instead, reach for what makes you more passionate, more excited, feel more magical. Yeah, you have so many wands here. Like, I feel like the King of Coins, he's so steadfast and stable. But the wands rush ahead. The wands consume. They get what they need. They are fulfilled. The Knight of Wands in particular is a fighter. And we have the the fight card here. I feel like what I'm hearing is that there's gonna be some conflict, no matter which way you go, there's gonna be some conflict to get to your happy ending. Like this, but like happy endings don't happen without work, without effort, without some conflict. You're gonna, at the moment you're not moving, you're sitting, you're seated, but there's a choice to be made, and you have to choose what's right for you. That's what like the Queen of Wands really represents, and so does the Queen of Pentacles. Like, you have to choose what's right for you, what resonates with you, what makes you feel safe and important, and what makes you feel like you can evolve. Because the Queen of Wands is a magical queen. She is the queen of witches. She is not a queen that stands still. She grows. She grows, she changes, she evolves. And so does the Queen of Pentacles, but she does it in a much more self-love kind of way, whereas the Queen of Wands does it in a much more vibrant, fiery, passionate way. Where was I going? Spirit, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so this opportunity to go forward in a new path, it may feel scary, it may feel new, it may feel fiery. It may, like, maybe you're not normally a fire person, but you picked this deck. It may feel like you're putting your feet to the fire with all these fire cards, but there's victory at the end here. This was the last card we pulled, which is all about victory and success and, you know, getting all that your heart desires, riding in victorious from a battle to be yourself. It might even be a battle to leave behind the past. Because all of these cards are facing forwards, and the World and the Knight of Wands are facing back. So I feel like there's an ending that you have to fight to let go of. Like, you wish that this thing would not end, but it has to for you to move forward. So the fight that you're in store for is to let things go. You're fighting with your own mind to let go of the past and move forward. But this moving forward is going to be really exciting for you, because the Page of Wands talks about being joyous and exuberant and having a childlike wonder in everything around you. And I think that's the energy that your guides and the Spirit of Fire really want you to take forward. I mean, with all this fire energy, like, you're meant to follow your passion. You're meant to take the risk and go down the path least traveled and really set the world on fire a little bit. Like, yeah, whether that's in a soulmate connection of setting the world on fire through love and affection, or if it's just being your own magical being and shining a light on things that need to be seen. And this evolution from Page of Wands to Queen of Wands to victory, like, this is a path, this is a journey, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be walking through fire, but the end is the Ten of Cups. It's all your dreams come true, and it's going to be worth it. You're going to be your full, undivided self. Magical. Like, these two cards really speak about magic and being a powerful, unyielding force of magic in the world. And yeah, we really need more people like you out there. So follow your heart and don't be afraid. You are being led towards your passions, and it is going to be a good thing for you. Don't sit still. You are strong enough to walk through this fire. That's really all I'm seeing in this. So I'm going to pull you guys a Kali Ma Oracle card because she is the closest oracle I have to fire energy. She is very fiery in her words most of the time after all. So I'm just going to pull you one of these oracle cards, and then that will be your reading. Okay, you guys? Okay. Well, my cat just came out to say hello. Hello, Magus. Bless you. All right, Kali Ma and Spirit of Fire. Oh, the dragon. He came out to say hello. Yeah, you're a dragon. You're a dragon among men, and dragons don't walk paths, they fly, is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, definitely a way less traveled is in store for you. So don't fear it, because you're a dragon. You can fly. So, oh gosh, actually that one does want to come out. Does any others want to come out for fire? Yeah, okay. So we have two. These might take a second for me to find parts to read to you. Ooh, interesting. So, you have two oracle cards. The first card that came out is card 31. Chamunda. I think that's how you say it. Also, I don't know if you guys know Steven Universe at all. I know this is a super creepy image to correlate to it, but this character has 3 eyes, and so does Garnet from Steven Universe, so I don't know if that means anything to anybody or if that's anybody's thing, but there you go. 31, Chamunda, and number 3, Kaldahara, also with 3 eyes. Wow, these are very opposing cards and very beautiful. So I'm going to read you these out of the book. We're going to see what they have to say for you guys. These are really interesting. So, Pan, you might have to edit some here as I look up what I want to actually read. Card number 3, Kaldahara. She is not bound by appearances, opinions, or material limitations. She is both the void and the infinite, creative potential that rises from it. Do not be afraid of uncertainty. If you feel you are without resources, take comfort now. Where there is lack, she restores abundance. She can bring forth exquisite blessings and glorious manifestation from the sacred expanse of nothingness. Your soul can rely upon her completely. Cast your fears away. Hers is the power of the universe, combined with the generosity of grace. The Oracle of Kalahadra marks the ending of a cycle after the full moon, when things have gone as far as they can go, and the initiation of a fresh cycle following the black or new moon, when what has fallen away shall rise again in a revised form. Our beloved Kaldahara, cosmic lunar priestess, is Bhavarihi, she who controls the changes taking place in the universe and our lives. We can trust her timing and our own process. Stay true to your inner work and know that your efforts shall bear fruit. Aww. And number 31, Chamunda. Wow, okay, this one has a lot. So 31, Chamunda. Her unerring instinct for spiritual protection arises spontaneously, even when we do not realize we need it. Sometimes we don't realize just how far we've become entangled in that which is not good for us. We do not realize we need Kali's powerful intervention. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Holding the space for an inner and outer conflict to be resolved involves discipline. Chamunda is fearless. Wisdom, patience, and discipline needed to conquer a difficult situation. She is with you now. Despite her inherent drama and intensity, Chamunda is beloved by the heroic heart. She assists us when we need to find strength to overcome our psychological limitations and inertia to access. Integrate and sustain higher frequencies and states of beings. Bringing about a permanent structural change of the psyche is hard work. It requires commitment. However, bullying ourselves into being different or applying more and more willpower only tends to create resistance, adverse reactions, and exhaustion. It is more a case of applying wisdom, finding the balance between persistence, determination, and compassion. Rest and release, so we can integrate and rebuild from within. For some personality types, taking rest can require as much discipline as engaging in activity. Learning to move between the two as appropriate takes strength and wisdom. Mastering the balance to nudge ourselves forward on our path and facilitate change, but not so much that we feel defeated even before we gain traction, is advanced inner work. Chamunda is the power that will help you accomplish it. Her presence in a reading is potential of a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. The healing of masculine energy and the protection of the sacred feminine within your heart. Wow. Yeah, so some intense work, guys, on the path ahead of you, but you can do it. You're awesome. You also have a buttload of protection on you. All right? So that's all I'm seeding for you, group number 4, my fire pile. I hope you have a blessed everything. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That's it. Thank you for being here, pile number 4. Have a blessed everything. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.